Righto, so what we need to do is we need to work out these calculations, then we can run the queries, and we can also start forming the database forms. So let's do this at high speed because I was running another query here, as you can see it's currently. This is an update query. Did the calculations exactly the same as we've been doing them in class, because it's just another way to do them and probably is a little bit better way of doing it. Yet the exact same calculations did not work for some reason. Copy-pasted the calculation out of here into a calculated field, and it worked it perfectly. Yet this one was not working properly. So, needless to say, I'm not going to show that one. Here's my copy-paste testing here. Was not playing nice, so I'm not friends with Access right this very minute. So you can go do it yourself. Right. Books. We want to add calculated field design view. Do it here. Let's go. Book age. Calculated. What we want to do to work out how old the book is, basically what we want to say is take the book year published and we'll just say 17 minus that. If this was a proper date field, not just the number with the year, I could actually go date like that, the function of today's date minus that, and then this calculated field would forever be up to date because it's always taking today's date. Oh, what was that? Yeah. It's a year function. Oh, I didn't even realise. Right. Contains the wrong number of arguments. That is curious. Expression. Build. Equals. Yeah. If I double click it. Why is it formatted that way? I'm curious. Right, anyway, yeah, date. Let's try this thing if you want to do like that. Date. Minus. Yeah, publish. It'll probably have a full bar effect. It didn't for some reason though. Well, we'll go with that. Yeah. Okay. So, never mind me trying to be technical. Because clearly it doesn't work. So we'll just take 2017 minus the year published. Go OK. Run it. Yes. That works. Yay, something works. If I had run it and there was something not working or wanted to change it, or I made it a calculated field, ran it, but I had actually put a calculation and want to go back. One of the things with Access is if you've got like a calculation that you didn't really calculate with and it was broken and you want to go update it, it will have the same problems for some reason. It won't actually work properly. So what you need to do is you literally need to delete the field and then re-enter it. Plus, if I want to now refer to this field, I did have to run it and go back, so that way Access can actually recognize the field as existing because it's saved. Cool. So I'm going to go rental price calculated. Let's go with that if statement goodness. So I would say functions, built-in functions, program flow, if now I've got some kind of expression and then we check it true, false gets it. So like if health is less than 1, true part dead, otherwise alive, right? So that's it in its kind of basic form if you want to view it that way. Books, right, so if book age is less than, yes, it's less than or equal to 2, then the true part is it's a really young book. So then we would say we're going to take the cost of store by 0.1. False part is, well, we want to check two other things, so I need to put a statement in there. And the expression is basically like this. I want to check something different. If book age is greater than or equal to, and the last condition is 6 years for the oldest, if that's true, then we'll say the cost to store times by 0.02 for the oldest. Otherwise, it's cost to store times by 0.05 for the middle bracket of in between. So check for the youngest, then check for the oldest, and then obviously whatever is in between. And that should be all goodness. Let's run that. That's worked. It's not formatted. So if I go fields, calculated currency, there you go. Then in here, I just want to do the rental length. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this calculation, because essentially I'm trying to calculate the same thing, but instead of just putting in the money, I just want to put in the number of how many days it will be rented for. Days. And I don't want to say 90 days, or the word days I didn't have as a text-based field, because if I say, right, there's the date they rented it, and then I can take the number 90 and then add it onto the date that they rented the book, then it will automatically calculate the expiration date for the 90 days later. Right, but we don't have to do that in the assessment, but that's kind of like if you think about the company functioning. Right, so if book age is less than 2, it is the really young one, so it is getting rented for 30 days. There you go, 30. If the book age is older than 6 or higher, we're going to rent it for 120 days. And if it's in between somewhere, then we're going to rent it for 90 days. There you go. Run. Done. Sweet. Okay, so basically we've done all the tricky, annoying parts of the setup in this, and you've got to remember that you don't really do your entries through your tables normally. It's for the initial setup. So looking forward, we have to do these queries, and then essentially we also want to set up the forms as well. So the owner wants to do a query, wants to know books that cost less than $1. That's cost, so I'm going to take it at cost, not the rental, and are older than 8 years. So we'll go create, query design. I'm going off the books field, that's all I really need to know. Actually, it's a good time to test this actually. Yep. Yes it is. Okay, we'll close that. So I'm going to chuck in, I can't remember the book ID, so I'm going to chuck book title, category, year published, publisher. See, I can't get the author name because I've got the author ID. Right, so I chuck it in, I'm just going to get a number, but I want to see the author name. Cost to store, which I need, is my main one. And book age is really the one I need. But see, if I wanted to see the supplier of the book, like it's just going to be on the ID number. Okay, anyway, book age, and I'm going to write is greater than, because basically that just refers to the top of that field, if you view it like that. Greater than 8 years, and cost to store is greater than $1. Oops. Greater than 1. That's it. And I mean, I could say in cost to store, sorry, it's past midnight, so I'm yawning. Run. There you go there. See how I got this? Author ID, supplier ID, and say okay, supplier, not really much of a thing I may not want, but I might want it. So in order to get these up showing properly, here's a good opportunity to do that. So what we do is we go show table, and then I pull in the suppliers table, and I pull in the authors table, because realistically these things we're looking at here are, these ID numbers are a representation of whatever's in that field. So instead of saying supplier ID, right, get rid of that. It knows the supplier ID there that's attached to whatever book. So if I just go supplier ID and I don't want to get the name, cool. Also, if you have a query that has two primary keys, like you actually get that from that field and that from like that field from that table and that field from this table, and have two actual primary keys, not like this one is a primary key and this one is a primary key, because it's a primary key from another table, so it's referred to as a foreign key because it's from somewhere else. Right, when you go to the source, you will actually see the name. So if I go author, first name, last name, chucked on the end there, and get rid of author ID, yeah, I'll chuck it in there. Yeah, right, and then run it. There you go, they're all there, see, with the first name there. So that's how you get around the primary key showing up. So we'll close and we'll save that. And people go, oh my goodness, what do I save it as? Well, he wants me to do 30-day rental for free. So I'll say free rentals. Right. I don't want to know books that cost more than $15, less than 2 years old. Right, be on the primary list. So then create design, books, close, book title, so we want to know book age, less than, was it 2 years? Less than 2 years, so basically 1 year old. And rent and cost to store is greater than today. Run. There you go. There's your promo books. Close. Do I say sure? Right. Okay. So done that. Right. Next thing is we're going to set up a form and do it nice and neatly. So I'm going to do one of the trickier forms first, and then the other forms you guys should know how to do. Okay. So create form wizard. What form do we want to do? I want to do the books. The reason why it's tricky is we have these primary keys. So, chuck it in. Next. Next. Yeah, we're going to call books finished. Cool. So it's going to show me what we're currently got there. So first of all, I'll just tidy the form up. So design view, and to be fair, it actually needs to be that long. And it actually probably needs to be really fat like that. Category, publisher. I'm going to shorten down. See how they vary in length? You're like, why would you do that? It does that purely based off the fact that of how long I've set the field length. That one's at 255, so that's why it was really big and fat for double line entry in this. Retail price, book age. Those are kind of default because they were number. Right. I can take this, just move that away from there, and I can press Control A, highlight all, design, format, there we go. See, I asked for Century Gothic, are you surprised? Century Gothic, this had to be like 20, this heading had to be like 24, I think, off the top of my head. And this background color should backfill color was like a dark red. And then I'm going to go with white off the top of my head. think these, let's just read. Last thing I want to content. Form formatting. Heading 25. Here's first background colour red. Colour white. Ah, what a genius. Text labels to be dark red. Text boxes to be laid out simply. So text labels, which are these. Once those to be also dark red. And then you can either do something nice like this and go, oh, put a line. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Gosh, that's pretty. Looks so profesh. Right. So we need to add a buttons. You guys have done it once before, so you must have it memorized by now. Surely. So this one here, 4x is your button. Click drag. I want to add a new record button, so record operations, not navigating, we're doing something. Right, we're going to add new record, yes. Text, add, book, next, command, add, book, finish, there we go, add book. Now I want to actually be able to navigate through the books, so I'll do that. Record navigations, go to first record next, use a picture, yeah. First book, finish. Yeah, right. And then record navigations, previous book next. Book. Yeah. And then go next book next. Next book. And there, go last right there, yeah. Last book. Right, last book, finish. Right. There, so we've got the navigation. Then over here, we've got practicality, record operations, delete, next. I'll put delete book. Right. Right, so we kind of think everything's all hunky-dory. So say if I go, let's add a book, book title, and I'm going to call it the book of happiness. Right, category. There's our drop down from our list that we did up in our table, and it is clearly going to be a thriller because it's epicness. Year published 2018 because it's just that good. It's from the future. Publisher like BD Limited. Author ID. Oh no, I can't add me as an author. That's not going to work. So this is where we kind of have to do some fixing. This is why I said this is a tricky table. Cost of store. Oh, clearly this is like a $100 book. Supplier ID. Like I know I've got suppliers numbers 1 to 4, and I want to say it's supplied from Random House, which I know is 1. But I don't want to enter it that way because who on earth is going to remember this? It's supposed to be user friendly. Book age, -1. That it is. Rental price, yes, it's going to be expensive. A whole $10 for 30 days. But it is going to be the most fantastic 30 days of your life. So we need to fix that. So first thing first, if we fix the supplier one, it's a little bit, not easier, but sensical. Because in this instance, I want to say I'm the author, and that author doesn't exist. So, what do we do there? Interesting. Right. So, in the design view, can't change record. Right, authors. Fine. I'll put something in there to keep you happy in the meantime, because nothing was not acceptable. Design view. Right. Okay. So, take those. Minus that. We're going to make some space. for something new. So we're going to take this thing here, just called combo box, and we're going to draw it in here, and it's going to say I want it for another table. So what the whole point of the combo box is, I want to search up a supplier, so we'll go to the suppliers list there. Okay, so I've got a supplier. Always bring the ID across, otherwise no point doing it. Supplier name. That's probably it. Like, I mean, if I might want like an email and a contact or something, just because it's maybe for me as an employee entering a new book from a supplier, and if I need that to just kind of help confirm that, oh yes, that's right, because it's from Bob, and Bob sent the order. That's right, he's from Random House. I don't know. Next, sort by supplier name. Next, we're going to see this. So I can shorten that, but that one doesn't seem long enough. Right, neither does that. Okay, so this is how, that's when you resize that, when the drop down box, it'll actually fit things properly now. Now this is the most important one. It says store the value in a field, because basically, if we go back, this ID number is really what is in this drop down box. And the ID number is what they want to enter in the supplier ID. So as we go next, it says, do you want to enter that supplier ID in somewhere? Yes, we do. We want to enter into the supplier ID. Next, what are we going to? We want, this is the label, so I'm going to call it supplier search. Finish. Now it hasn't got the other pretty formatting as the other stuff, so I could update that, but I'm not going to get, too stressed about that yet. So we'll give it a test though. So I want to go to my last entry, which is that one of me, and I want to say, oh, see, at least on these restretching. But anyway, I can suss that. It came from Wheelers. Oh no, it came from Random House. Okay, so that works, because you could see it was changing that number there. Righto. I don't know, like, I might want it to be a separate colour, so that way that field stands out. And I think that's okay. So when you do a similar thing with the author, but to be fair, what we need to do is actually create the author's table first. So if I go create form wizard, I don't know that, I need authors. There you go, create the author's table, that squishy little table, finish. Authors, design view, and then here, backfill colour, authors, format, font colour, white. Actually, I'll just leave that meantime. Take these, drop them down, take those, shrink them up. If you want to move these independently without moving the other one, you just grab by the grey square on the corner, by the way. Right, and then I need some buttons, so I'm going to do this. Copy, paste, and then I just have to call it add author. The name of the label of this button though is still the add book. So I think I look under caption, add auth, data, events, other, name, add book, add auth. It's not a biggie if it's like that, to be fair. As long as the actual text in the thing is fine, because we don't need to use these buttons for anything else. Delete is fine. Right. Okay. So that's it there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add another button, because you know I like buttons. And this button, I'll put up in here even, and I'll say form operations, open form. Next, what form do I want to open? Well, the only other one that's available to me is the books form. Open the form, show all records, or find specific data display. What this means is it will actually find only a specific record, and then you can't navigate through all the records, so you just go to all. And then you would just say text, and you'd say open book entry form, record, next, books. Right. Design view. Then I can go, I want to add a new author. The new author is going to be D. Greenwood. Cool, so we're going to open that now. Now if I go to the last entry, Book of Epicness, and now I want to go Design View, Author ID, right, combo box, yes I want to get it from the authors table, shuffle that across next. Actually, go back. What we're going to do is put the last name first, then the first name, just because for when what you see in the field will actually be the last name, and realistically when you're searching by someone, generally you search by last name first. Store the field here. Yes, what we want to do in the author ID next. We'll call this search. Right, so see, take it like that. So we can drag that one across with. Okay. So then I can go to my last one. Yeah. Author search, author ID. What? No. So, nice Shakespeare. Yeah. Looking for G's. Greenwood is not in there. So, what I would imagine is if I go to here, refresh all, because it hadn't saved that entry, I imagine. Books. Now, refresh all. Go back to the last entry. Shakespeare. Oh, look, there's G. Greenwood. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to add a button. We can't make enough buttons. Right, author search. And I can say in here, form operations, form, next, authors, next. Probably fine. Doesn't want to drag through there, so I'm going to cut it, click and paste. I have a teacher trying to trick me. Right, sorry, I did talk to the program. Right, so then I can jump to the author's entry. Now, I'm going to go build event, and it takes you through this sweet macro. And basically, what I want to do is go add new action, go to records, object type, but it's the form, isn't it? Or what's the form? That's the author's form. What record do I want to go to? new, because chances are I want to add a new author, otherwise there's no need to go to the authors table if the author's already existing. Right, pause, yep, save that. So now, when I go to my design view, I'm like, it takes me straight through to a new author. So I go back one, it'll be the last one entered, should be me. It's not, that's random. Anyway. And now if I want to say open books entry, I need to format that one as well. So if I go there, build events, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and add this thing called refresh. You never guess what it does. It refreshes, I'm going to drag it to the top, refreshes the form that you're in. Right, and then I'm also going to this is for the button to go back to the book form, I'm pretty sure. Then what I'm going to do is then go, yes, open books form, okay. And then I'll say, go to record, and I'll say, well, which record and what? So, in the form, the books form, record next, and I'm just going to go last, because it shouldn't be the one, last one we're working on. And then I'm just going to do the refresh again, because then it's going to refresh once we're in the new book. Save, close, entry view. Where am I? I'm not in there anymore. Oh, I'm going to go look in the table in the background to find me. Sort by last name, filters, remove filters, put them back on again. Right, let's go down to the Greenwood. 130. Can't show you at 130. Awesome. 130. Awesome. ID. Authors. Refresh on. Oh my goodness. Stupid. It's alphabetized. That is retarded. Well, not really when you try to navigate, but at the same time, it is. Wow. No filter, search, green. Thank you. Greenwood. I'm going to go delete author. I can't because I'm attached to another book. So what I'm going to do is go add author, and I'm going to call this Mr. Beer. Right, and then I'm going to go open book entry. Now I look in here. Should be right at the top being Beer. Mr. Beer. He's in there. So because of that refresh that we put in the background, as you notice it went to the last book straight away. Really handy. Rather than go into this book, oh, I need to add an author. And then come back. And then, got to find the record. So this does all this seamless stuff in the background. So, there you go. That's your challenge. Obviously you need to make a form for the customers and the suppliers, in case you need to enter more of them. So there you go.